The Moorish mission to King Edward and the Kaiser. Present to King Edward. The mountain sheep in the doorway is the one given to King Edward. It was photographed at Marrakesh, where the fierce animal once killed a Moorish official. The Sultan receiving the Qaids or chieftains. When the festival of the Great Sheep Feast comes round, the local Qaids assemble before the Sultan, and each brings a present. The Qaids stand with eyes cast down and cry out in Arabic as the Sultan appears, "Long live the Sultan! May God preserve your life." The Moorish mission to King Edward and the Kaiser, and the rival mission to Paris and St. Petersburg. The Moorish mission to King Edward was received by His Majesty at St. James Palace on Monday, the 10th, and many felicities passed between the king and the white-robed Moors, who bore themselves with Eastern dignity. Qaid or Chief Maclean, the Scottish commander of the Sultan's force, acted as interpreter during the audience, always an advisor, just like with Noble Ali, with Kirkman Bey being his so-called advisor. Just like with Albert Pike, when he passed, the advisor took over, and then he was taken out of the grave. That's what I mean. Y'all better watch out, because Moors will try to bring finance into their temple by unburying Noble Ali and putting them in their temple, because that's what they did with Albert Pike. You better watch out, because that's what those Moors will do, because if they got Noble Ali in their temple, the remains of Noble Ali, it'll make people want to come to their temple. And that's what they did with the Scottish Rite Temple with Albert Pike. He said he wanted an unmarked grave. The visitors has since been to the Zoological Gardens, Natural History Museum, the Crystal Palace, and other show places. A more serious aspect is given to the visit by the advent of a second Moorish mission upon the diplomatic horizon. The second mission is apparently not the unaided conception of the Sultan Abdel Aziz, but an arrangement which he agreed to as part of the indemnity for the murder of M. Pouzet, the Frenchman who met his death in one of the wildest parts of Morocco. Well, what the hell was he doing in Morocco? I see it a lot in these news clippings where there'll be a European running around the Moorish Empire and he gets killed. Then all of a sudden the U.S. wants indemnity from the Moorish government. And it specifically said that in the newspaper that U.S. wants indemnity from the Moorish government because one of their Europeans was killed while running around doing something stupid. A French view of this embassy, which left Tangier on the 19th for Paris and St. Petersburg, is expressed in the following quotation from the Paris Temps of June 12th. The Sharifian court sends 2 embassies to visit Great Britain, France, Germany, and Russia. It is not necessary to be in the secrets. How the French amused the Sultan. Snapshot shows a French balloonist at the Sharifian court at Marrakesh, about to inflate a large hot air balloon for that pleasure of the Sultan, who takes a great interest in mechanical inventions. See, on the last demonstration we went over it about getting colonized. They gave him a bicycle and he was riding around and all of the Moors and stuff was looking at him saying, hey, he's getting Europeanized, and he wrecks the bike. He's supposed to be the Sultan, but he straight wrecks the bike and runs off the ramp in front of all the Moors, and he's looking all goofy on the ground. He was selling out, man. I know it's good to have things that make life easy, but they was selling out. We have to go back and read something. It is not necessary to be in the secrets of the chancellors to be certain that if that which visits London and Berlin receives any advice, it will certainly not be in the favor of the development of French influence. As a set-off to this, it is at least desirable that the mission which Emery Voyle is conducting to Paris shall not find opinion divided on a subject of this importance. It may be said that the privileged position which we have to uphold in Morocco is based on both geographical and historical considerations. No party in power can afford to neglect this. Is this not another reason for abstaining from our wretched internal squabbles? Value of exports to Morocco. The privileged position of France, it will be seen, is based upon geographical and historical consideration. No reference is made to commercial consideration. Perhaps the table given here will explain why no claim is made to preponderating trade interest. It will thus be seen that 59% of the imports were from Great Britain, 22% from France, and 8.7% went to Great Britain, 28% to France, and 17% to Germany. The Moorish mission to Paris and St. Petersburg at the landing stage at Tangier before leaving the Taldoun. The French government, as part of the compensation for the murder of M. Punzet, a traveler who had penetrated into a very wild, unvisited part of Morocco, has induced the Sultan to send a Moorish mission to Paris and St. Petersburg under escort of M. Ravel. The object of the mission is, as can be seen in the photograph above from the Paris temps, to act as a set-off against the mission to London and Britain, which has set out on the Sultan's own risk. The ambassador of the Franco-Moorish mission is Ben Slimane, the vulnerable bearded Moor whose portrait appears above. The mission before leaving visited the Sultan of Marrakesh and then started for Tangier, vid Mazagan. From Tangier, the mission left for Toulon on board the French warship Pouthuah, Pouthuah. The Sultan of Morocco returning from the Great Feast. Moulay Abdel Aziz, whose ambassador held converse with King Edward on the 10th, is rarely seen by his devoted subjects, even in his capital city of Marrakesh, or Morocco City as it appears on many maps. In this he much resembles his fellow autocrat, the Emperor of China, and his capital bears out the comparison. See, I knew it. On the last demonstration on the thumbnail, I have the image of the Sultan. But they all look different in the different images. They look like different people, just like how they did the reincarnated Noble Drew Ali and all that. But I thought that he looked really, really like Chinese. And I was talking to a Moor on the phone yesterday, and he was asking me about how it said the descendants of Hagar are like the Chinese who sit on the seat, but the true guardians of Mecca are the Turks, which are the Moors. We was building over that question in the Circle 7 in regards to who had the authority, even though they all was of the bloodline. But it specifically said that the Turks are the ones that was the true guardians, which are the Moors. For like Pekin, it is combination of decayed and battered grandeur with smelling pools of blinding dust. The picture was drawn from materials gathered by the English court photographer to the Sultan during the past few weeks. The Great Sheep Feast, when every citizen slays a sheep, is one of the occasions when the Sultan appears outside the palace. The umbrella held over him is hereditary in the Sharifian family of Tefilet. The Sharif is head of a princely Mohammedan family, claiming descent from the Prophet through his daughter Fatima, which is the Alis. The Sharif constitutes a Mohammedan order of nobility, the males of which are distinguished by wearing a green turban and the females a green veil. Runners are flicking the flies away with cloths. Companies of the Sultan's bodyguards are seen on the right. So in regards to Fatima, that's Hussein and Hassan Ali. That's the bloodline of the Alis, because her grandfather was Ali, who adopted Muhammad. From what I read, it said that the bloodline of Ali and Muhammad are the Sheiks who wear red and green. But now it just speaks of wearing green, because they're with the Orient of France. And they was messing with France and Great Britain. I know Noble Drew Ali said the Europeans are helping me, why not you? But my conclusion to this is, who's who? Like I said on the last demonstration, they was messing with France, and France was colonizing and killing Moors that didn't want the establishment. However, what was Noble Drew Ali's connection with this? Because this was 1901 to 1910, and then right after that's when Noble Drew Ali started coming through. But they was speaking about, well, I got another reading in regards to part and parcel with the Moorish government, with the French. Since Moors want to talk about part and parcel, I have it where it says Moorish government and then it says part and parcel. And this was before Noble Drew Ali. So the Moorish Empire has been around since like 10 to 50,000 years. So don't think this just started, but I like digging into this. We found something that's fresh and we need to dig into it and get more information. But that's on you, Moors, because I done did enough. I leave you in peace and love.
Muslim son. Islam. When you wake up to nationalities, when you wake up to Noble Drew Ali, night you waste is one more loss. The vibration feels so slow while justice is hung on the cross. And they don't care, they watch the prophet get chased round the building. If I was there, I'd lay them all down. They be bleeding, kneeling, leaking like silver. Don't get mad, I'm just a voice of wonder. If you black, you under. They go rape and plunder, leave you in the sun. To all the sellout package sellers, may your money burn. From you I never learned. I'll chop you down and sit you in the urn. When you wake up to nationalities, when you wake up to know who true I mean. Voice of no return, Ollie's love I earned. Ain't concerned with all you turncoats. Circle 7 I yearn. Walking through this building, Moorish arches above my head, silver and gold below my feet, and I won't fold until I'm dead. Everything I know is from the Moors, and that's for sure. From the shores of Tripoli to Mississippi, house of tours. All praise due to Allah, honors to Ali. Don't know where I be, probably in the cave, screaming in my sleep.